Hey, what's up everyone? I've had a ton of people ask me what my thoughts are on some of the new ascendancies, and I wanted to give a mostly fleshed out idea for what I think is probably going to be one of the best mappers and also a very good bosser for, I don't know, what are we calling this, like 325.3? Anyway, the idea is a Surfcaster Lightning Exsanguinate miner. Now, Exsanguinate mines isn't a new concept. Tuna and Captain Garbage put together a really excellent league starter a few leagues ago, but I've never seen anybody play it self-chill. Now, I know that it's really strong as a self-chill build because I played a variation of this in Settlers League, and that's mostly due to the way the mechanic worked. Like, you had to build up the town. In order to town, you had to map a lot, and I couldn't sustain gold just boss rushing, which is what I typically love to do on a league start. And you can definitely do a very similar setup with Explosive Trap. But Surfcaster converts all of your lightning to cold, and this feels like the perfect thing for it. Surfcaster gets cold damage, which shocks. It also gets the Ajuanas mod, which is another 30% increased damage taken. Just huge, huge damage numbers. You get some DR, which you would otherwise be getting from Call of the Void. But importantly, we lose all of the Trickster defensive nodes, which are very good. So to mitigate that part, we're going to lean heavily into freeze. And I'm probably going to do something else. Like, I have a half put together Svalin version of this. I'm not sure yet. It's going to require a little more tinkering. But to give you an idea of how strong freeze is with this setup, I'm going to do a quick demonstration. Now, this character has about 40% less damage than I'm expecting my Surfcaster to have, and quite a bit less defensively. So I've completely removed all of the Trickster defensive nodes. I've got no curse immunity, I'm not chaos res cap, I've got something like 26k evasion, which is not amazing, and just some life regen to offset the trap costs. Now, this isn't a tanky build by any stretch. What it is instead is very, very good at mitigating mobs. Let me explain. So self-chill allows us to put an enormous number of mines on the ground very, very quickly. I'm casting something like 16 and some change mines per second. Now, every mine that casts Exsanguinate shoots 11 projectiles. Exsanguinate is unique in that it has projectiles that have no travel duration, which means they travel up to 5 meters, according to PoE Wiki, instantly, or in one server tick. And then they chain from that mob to another mob. And with a properly configured detonate mines and automation setup, we're executing a detonation sequence every 198 milliseconds, which means very, very quickly, everything on the screen is frozen. Not only that, in 3.25, there was a change in patch notes that buffed the amount of freeze that you could get. It now reduces action speed by up to 50%, whereas previously it was 30. Now, if you've done any Uber bossing since this change with a freeze build, you know that they feel like they're walking in molasses and their skills just come so much slower at you. So yeah, that's pretty much the concept. I'm going to do a lightning-based Exsanguinate miner, Surfcaster, and I think it's going to be pretty safe from a league start into making currency so that I can then try a bunch of the much, much weirder ideas that are not guaranteed without worrying about not having any currency to do so. Now, if you're thinking of doing this, I'm going to go over a few things that are super, super important that you do correctly or this build will feel terrible. And I know this because I've done a ton of self-chill builds. In fact, I'm probably going to do a sort of how-to on self-chill at some point. But anyway, the really important parts are, one, you need a trigger weapon, probably a wand, assuming you're going to want to go tormented stacking, and ideally the unveiled one or the temple mod. You can bench it, but you'll only get half the uptime. 2, you need Forbidden Right. A level 1 is fine. 3, you need chaos resistance, enough that you don't immediately kill yourself. Usually 55% is about the minimum I would consider doing it. 4, you need enough life regen so that you don't kill yourself slowly. The Forbidden Right hits will deplete your life pool. And 5, you need Lethe Shade for 100% uptime. Otherwise, you're only going to get 50%. And the last thing I want to talk about really quickly is the gear that I have on this character. Now, this gear is very recombinator friendly. The trigger weapons look crazy, but they're actually very easy to make. I'm going to make crafting videos for them, and there are already crafting videos for the necrotic armor and the other gear that I have on. None of it is difficult to make. I'm going to put my endgame POB in the description. Keep in mind, this is not complete. This is still a work in progress. It's just something that if you wanted to start putting together something on your own and you're interested in this as a basis, then you could use it. All right, I have a ton of other things that I want to tinker with in POB, specifically with traps. There are some pretty good looking underused transfigured trap gems that just needs some love, that some of the new ascendancies unlock a lot of power for. So I'm going to dig into that. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.